circle. Man, stop. Listen up.
Welcome, guys, to the Just Time Now shit with your host, Sauntai. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight special, whatever time this is coming at y'all. Enjoy this energy, take part in this atmosphere. Now that we all in the same boat, we can start the conversation. Just Thai, T-A-I, not T-H-I, like the food. Combine your minds with your heart, connect those two circles, and let whatever come out just come rushing down like an old waterfall, rushing up, whatever way, direction you is in your reality. I'm here today to tie on spirituality versus fake spirituality. And I'm going to really go into this so that people won't be offended, but so that people will, if you are offended, it's just something that, hey, I don't know. Let's not even go that far. That's to each his own. But I want to go because it's a lot of talk going around, and it's a lot of walk going around, and it's a lot of floating going around. Are you talking? Are you walking? Or are you floating? Now, a lot of like when you start on this spiritual game, we all started like talking a lot. Really, we start walking. That's the real legitness. We start walking in, we floating in the beginning, but really walking because we don't really know. Well, as a kid and growing up, we just in the now. We just, yo, what's the next thing to do? Oh, bang, I'm just in there. No questioning, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But as we grow up, we start losing that stuff and losing that in touch with ourselves and seeing on the outside. So we start seeking, some of us out here start seeking forms of spirituality. And I think spirituality is anything. Even if you're an atheist, that's a form of spirituality because you're holding on to a set of beliefs. You're still believing in something. You're saying something doesn't exist. I believe something does not exist because of these set of reasons. So anything down on here is I'm just using that term spirituality. Now, what I want to differentiate between spirituality and fake spirituality is that fake spirituality are, I see in my life, in my experience, are ways of thinking that are eternal, but they don't progress you any farther. They don't allow you to progress any farther in your spiritual development. It's like getting a tool, a hammer, and saying, alright, this hammer is all I need. I'm going to build this house with this hammer. Which can be possible, but now we're on interdimensional stuff now. So you're going to be able to build an interdimensional house with a hammer? With foundation, how are you going to use foundation? Or at least need a screwdriver. But and the hammer is so powerful, it's the tool that can nail things down, get results, and people satisfied with that. And that can come in the form of not having a type of personality that allows new information to be downloaded to your operating system or to your hard drive that's here. Because I know a lot of us go through things and we wake up in panic situations and we say, oh wow, I've seen something, or I know everything there. I got it now. And I was studying all that stuff like years ago, and I've did some research on this and that. But then you see where they are in their regular life, and you like, what has all of that done? And it was good for the time being, but it didn't progress to, like, when you look out in the outside world, you see that they still admiring other people. You see that they still looking up to, they still have these goals that are cool, but you see the energy that's forming them. Like an energy that says, oh, I need something now. I need it now. Instead of ethereal sense about things that you wish to create in your life and have them just develop and manifest and come your way. as you just feel as though you have everything that you need right now and just flowing into more and more of yourself. Because what I'm aiming at is that, well, I'm aiming everywhere. I'm aiming everywhere right now. Just is that there is so much to learn out here. So much to learn. And when we deny things, when people out here, when you see somebody here denying something that they never really went into, that is a form of fake spirituality. Because we're all on this path. We're all on this path. Y'all remember, if I didn't put it out, if y'all, hopefully y'all, I did put it out and y'all seen it, the story of the professor and his friend in the imaginary, in the square root of -1. And square root of -1. That is an awesome story. How we're all on this path. We're all on a path, similar paths. But because of our experiences, we look at things differently. We look at things differently. But I see how there's a correlation between so many different fractals of life, that if you're able to get over a couple leaps and bounds, cop on a couple blocks, and let go of a couple things that was told to you, that was said, yeah, this is how you're supposed to live if you want to be spiritual. You're supposed to hold up these kind of ideas. You're supposed to be like this, trying to do like that. Like having another voice talking, having another voice being your internal voice. There's something about that. It's something about switching that into your own internal voice. And having experiences that then propel you to have that be like so strong in your mind that you don't believe in it, but it's just your life. It's just how my life is. Sometimes I'm crying because I'm feeling so much energy of this goddess, or sometimes I'm feeling a little upset, or like, oh, what, just feeling like, why this had to happen. And then just settling and like, because it's balance, and just letting it flow out. And when you're able to have that internal voice for your own experiences, that's when I believe, well, that's when I see how true spirituality starts to develop, as opposed to what I was terming as fake spirituality. Because the person that was talking, that was that internal voice for you, they don't have all the experiences that you had. They had some of it, and some of it sound all like close to your flavor and stuff like that. But all in all, they only can say certain tidbits of you. So unless, or I'll say until you develop and like really see what they're saying and listen to multiple people. And then when you're listening to them, listen to them as you. So that, this is just a tip, look at them as you, so that you can see that you have many different points of views going on. So then on your path, while you're going down all of these things, seeing who you are, all these reflections of you, eventually you'll start coming across your own internal voice. Because when you start practicing what's going on, instead of it just being, and this is another way true spirituality starts to develop, as opposed to fake spirituality that keeps you just in a box. Instead of just living through their life, because that's what happens when you watch people on TV, or when you watch somebody have fun, or when you're watching a fight, or watching any kind of event, even when you're watching the trees grow, when you're watching the grass grow, when you're watching the squirrels run across I was gonna say run across the river. Yeah, they run across rivers in my reality. You're living through them. Now, as much as you're able to witness that and see that, that will unlock more spiritual, that will unlock more of your innate abilities, more of your power, more coolness, more of your third eye, well, if you want to put it like that, open up your pineal gland, get some DMT popping in your brain. The more you can see that you're living through them, and that's the whole reason you created it. But the more you can now see that you're the main character of this movie, you'll start seeing the internal voice, your voice speak through yourself. So that anxiety will be ridden of always having to search for something external when everybody external was already saying that you already had it within yourself the whole time. But this is ways to spot fake spirituality compared to real spirituality when you're dealing with people, because people will try to keep you in where they are. People would really try to keep you where they are when when you hear your own voice talking to you, like saying, well, you got to keep going. Yeah, I mean, not keep going, but it's something more, something more. If the rabbit hole keeps going, how can we settle for less? And the thing is, we do. We do every single day. But that's fake spirituality. Under that term, under that umbrella that I've just been developing for this reality of this episode. So, I had to put out here that we do not condone the use of illegal or legal drugs. What you decide to do with your body is what you decide to do with your body. It's for research, documentational purposes only. Just because I mentioned it does not mean that you do it when it comes to illegal or legal substances. And I want to talk about, just because somebody has done mushrooms or has done a psychedelic plant does not mean that they're into true spirituality as well. Because a lot of people have ingested these substances and they don't really understand what's going on. They're just like, I'm just getting a little buzz. I just want to have a little fun for the night and then forget about everything. And luckily these give me a smile compared to the other drugs. And most time they still mixing things. And to each his own. There should never be an umbrella on anybody messing with their own state of being, their own consciousness when it comes to any kind of substance, illegal or legal, rather is destroying your liver or anything, said be. But I'm sticking to plant medicines because you will hear people still just like not really understand what the game is about or what they're doing and say that just get all highbrow and mighty and stuff. And the thing is that that's awesome, but when you look out into your own reflections, you see that it's people that's been doing this for years, and there's people that's been just having many different kind of experiences that when you listen to them start unlocking more of your experience. The more you dive into their world, start living through them. So I was going back in the beginning stages, we all live through people in the beginning. And that's just a step on. Don't stay trapped in that box. As soon as you think that you got it, that I believe that's a form of fake spirituality. As soon as you think you got it, like I am everything and nothing at all. Every truth, as the Hermetics been saying for the longest times, or in the now, every truth is but a half truth. I say every time I think about something, I think about the opposite. And then the reality that I exist in, both are true. But what is happening here is all based on the moment. It's not... Yes, it's all based off the moment as well as supposed memories. Because how tangent are memories if they can be manipulated? But when a memory does pop out, just like a dream, if you remember something from a dream, you were meant to remember that. If you brought something back from a trip, or if something reminds you back of something from your trip, that means in this reality, as I said, you were supposed to remember that. So if a memory pops up, you were supposed to remember it. But where I don't like to attach to the past so much. That's another form of fake spirituality, holding on to traditions. Because that's not flow. How can it flow? What I like to do is just combine the mind with the heart. Yes, some memories pop up, but my mind is always fluid and in the now. So it's able to say, oh wow, so I see that this is happening. I see that this is happening. I see all of these possibilities happening. So now let's just let the heart take me to where I want to go instead of overthinking about which path to go down. Now that my vision is so clear that I can see it, let's just let the heart do the travel. Let the heart be my sail. Let the heart be my guide. Just think about these things. Because it's all there. It's all readily available. It's all that infinite potential. Yeah, it's all there. It's all readily available at at whatever you wish to pay attention to. And I want to clarify, when I say my heart is my sail, the heart is my guide, you have to really, this is another thing where you can spot fake spirituality against real spirituality, because the matters of the heart does not just deal with I was gonna say pimps and butterflies. That's what people look at as the good life, pimps, and people like butterflies. So I guess that flies like in this reality. But yeah, that's what that's not just what the heart is about. The heart has horrors in it. The heart deals with pain. That's why it's throbbing. Dum 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 dum. It's going through something. It's having an experience. In order to have an experience, you have to move through some sort of resistance in order for two things to now create something. Or else it's just nothing. It's just one thing just existing. And that's the all, and that's boring. There's nothing happening. There has to be some kind of interference going on, and then something can now happen. Interfere. Something enters that space. Two spaces are now entering each other's space. So now an experience can happen. And they both had their whole different worlds going on. This camera had his own world of being manufactured. I had my own world of being manufactured in the womb. Then we had our experiences. Then we came together and we made this video. But when it comes to matters of the heart, don't get tricked up in fake spirituality that won't have you think that it has spirituality will have you just avoiding pain, or having you not look at the pain that you cause yourself. The pain that in an equation, the you is you. Don't let people get that all twisted up in your mind. Because like I said, that internal voice only going to come about when it knows that it is all of the voices. When it knows that it is all of the voices that is listening to in its reflections. So when all of that is internalized, like you're going to hear a lot of people say some bull crap. And you're going to be like, man, I would never do that. But hey, maybe you will. Maybe you did. And you just then don't remember. And that person was manifested in front of you just to remind you. But if you're not living completely through them and going through them steps, then you ain't going to realize that memory probably not going to pop up in your head for you to say, oh, wow, yeah, I was like that. And I think the more you develop that, the more you see what's really in your heart. Combining your mind with your heart, the more you just tie it out, the more that you're gonna be more awesome on your spiritual path. And the more you're gonna be a wizard, a sage, and when you start messing with psychedelic substances in the bigger doses, you'll be more of a warrior with your shield, got your items, got your inventory, got the shortcuts and things for the ones that you used to using or that you know how to just use without saying alisteroto. You this a spell you can cast by just mentality alone. Get your spell books up, get your mental flex up, and that comes with all true spirituality. Because your mental flex can't keep flexing if it's stuck. Like how you gonna keep flexing if you still stunting with what was used back in the 1600s or in the 90s or in the 60s. It's the year 3029, baby. It's the year 3029. So where's your mind located? where is your mind located? And what is talking to you? And to stay on this tiredness, it's all about spirituality versus fake spirituality, and how to spot the difference, and where to know where you lie, and how to keep on going up the ruts of the ladder. Because another way is when you're faced, like I was saying, with matters of the heart, with pain and things like that, and thinking that, and not having having forgiveness in your own heart, and like saying, oh well, God forgives, I don't. Like having that type of attitude is that's not it's cool. It develops in this world. It allows you to pierce through the bullshit that people try to throw at you and things like that. But to know that it's internalized, that you can see the bullshit, forgive them, and still act in this world accordingly. So that means not getting lost in the sauce of saying of infatuation, or lost in the sauce of anger and despair and depression, but taking the middle path all the way up from Malkuth to Tefereth to Diath to Keter on the Kabbalistic tree of life. Malkuth is the kingdom, is down, is the world of matter, material. You go up to, I skipped Yesod. Yesod, and then you get to which is like the soul, and like deals with things right above this plane, and then you get to the emotional plane, and then you get to Tefereth is the emotional, this one is like a little like kind of thinking, but then you get to Tefereth, and then you get to Diath, which is knowledge, which is really where the tree of life emanates from, this point right here. But in the middle path in this story right now, you go straight up, to die off, you get the true knowledge itself, and it's a dark thing, but the darkness is not really what other people always say, and y'all already know. And then you get the Keter, which is the crown, which is opening the third eye. Well, not even third eye, but crown consciousness, like above all of that, the oneness, wherever the whole tree emanates from. All of us, where all of us emanates from. Everything, our ideas, our imaginations, this reality construct, just this one. Because the Kabbalah tree of life, it can be looked at in many dimensions, so that it's not just one flat thing, but it can turn around, and that's how you can notice other realities of yourself. But that's another video. That's another cool topic. But yes, guys, do what you do. I'm gonna end this video right here. I would just say, we all tired, but do we really tired? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know. If you got something from this, drop a like, leave comments. Let me know how you felt about this. And I will be going live once I get an actual webcam, like a real webcam. I'll be using an iPad, and my iPad is not charging unless it's cut off, so it's connection issues. So I want to just save up and wait until I get an actual webcam so I can just stream seamlessly, and so we can do it on a daily basis, or at least 4 times a week, because I'm really getting into art and expression and things like that. But I really miss talking to y'all one-on-one, so check out True Life Stories. I'm on there pretty often. So if you have any questions, you can check me out, and you want to talk to me live, check out the Discord as well. But if you want to do it through YouTube, True Life Stories, check out his YouTube. He's in the featured channels. But Ty always, adios. I gotta throw this in there. One of the coolest ways to spot real spirituality versus what we are terming as fake spirituality in this context is when the person is not enjoying what they are learning and coming across, to the point where they don't want to use it in their life. If they're not enjoying the experience, then it's false, because they're lost in seeing how this is just it. You see, when anxiety comes about, it's because we're playing the game, we're trying to beat the game, and we like, oh gosh, we're just in the game, and we forget that it's a game, and that's cool. That's cool. That's how you can beat the game at times. That's the only like seems like it's the only way to beat the game sometimes. At some level, and you can grind it out, get that through, or you just relax and just know what's going on and laugh or just and enjoying the time. That is a way to spot real spirituality versus fake spirituality. When you're doing the work, is it enjoyable or is it too serious? Does it feel like work? When something feels like work, it's false, but it is real in its own falsehood. Just tie, just tie, just tie. Cut back in. Tie down store, come and explore. 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 Yeah. Come and explore. Tie store.
Make a shot, nice. Circle like this. Man, stop. Listen up.